Hello, welcome back. My name is Ari and today we are looking at a haul from a year ago to see did I read any of these books? Are they still sitting on my shelf? In this video we are going to pick one book from this haul to read and I will talk about it at the end of the video. Now, normally I record this video at the beginning of the month or like the month previous and then pick a book while I'm recording and then read it before the end of the month and this comes out, right? I lost that footage. So I am re-watching this, re-recording it after I've already read the book. So usually you get an outfit change. This time you're not getting an outfit change. I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. I did watch this and record it in the end of December and then lost the footage. I probably deleted it with all of the videos that I'm making this month, but enough rambling. Let's watch this video. Alright, the first section of actual books are going to be books from December. And the first one is The Saddest Girl in the World by Kathy Glass. Alright, the first one was The Saddest Girl in the World by Kathy Glass. I did read that. It was awful. I just realized that I said this is a video from last year. This is a video from 2 years ago, not last year. So 2 years ago, did I read any of these books? Yeah, I don't recommend this. This is a woman who is a foster parent, and it is wonderful that she fosters these children, but she is just so full of herself. She thinks she is the best parent in the universe, and she's very racist. She's very racist. Like, lots of microaggressions. The next two books were my December Book of the Month Club books, and I got The Wife Upstairs by Rachel Hawkins as like my Book of the Month pick, and then I got The Secret History by Donna Tartt as my birthday gift. So Book of the Month Club, we've got The Wife Upstairs by Rachel Hawkins, which I have read. I remember not really liking it. I may have ended up D'ing and F'ing it, but yeah, it was a retelling of Jane Eyre, but very badly done. And then The Secret History, that is the book that I am reading for this video. So haven't read it, well I have read it now, but I haven't read it at the start of this video, and it is the book that you will see me talking about at the end of this video. This next book is a book that I have read. Deadly Education, I said in that video there that I had read it already. That was just a special edition. I still have it. I love that series. This book my sister got me for Christmas. The book on the screen right there that doesn't have a title on the front is Lantress by Brandon Sanderson. I have read that many times. It is a special leather-bound edition. I have literally 3 copies of Lantress on my bookshelf. That is my favorite book of all time. So yes, I've read that one. The other books that I got for December are my Libro FM audiobooks that I got as an influencer for free. Sasha Masha by Agnes Berinsky. Libro FM audiobooks, if you want to sign up for Libro FM, there's still a link in the description down below. I'm part of the influencer program for Libro FM, and then they give me free audiobooks every month. I'm sorry if you can hear the dog snoring, he's underneath my feet. They give me free audiobooks every month. They're like a choice of books that I can get for free, and then I have like a link if y'all want to sign up for Libro FM. It's basically Audible, but the money goes to independent bookstores instead of Amazon. The first book was Sasha Masha. I have not read this still. It's in the jar. I have no plans to get this anytime soon, but I still need to read it. The Mermaid of Jeju by Sumi Han. The Mermaid of Jeju by Sumi Han. I have read. This is a very, very interesting book. Highly recommend. Historical fiction about women on Jeju Island who dive for pearls and seafood. And then I have Long Time Coming by Michael Eric Dyson. I did not read that, as well as Big Girl Small Town by Michelle Galen. Didn't read either one of those. They're in my jars.
Just to get this big ass stack out of the way, I bought the whole Throne of Glass series, except for Throne of Glass, which I already own.
Pretty much the entire Throne of Glass series is what I'm holding up on screen right now. I have read all of those. I've read, I think, all of Sarah J. Maas's books at this point. But yeah, definitely read all of those.
The next stack I'm going to talk about is this stack.
I just kind of like held up the stack right there and didn't, like, I'm not going to put the full recording in and I'm naming all of those books. These are special edition copies of books that I already love. I have The Name of the Wind, The Wise Man's Fear, the 2 Patrick Rothfuss books. In his trilogy. It's been over 10 years and he hasn't finished out that trilogy. I don't expect it to ever be finished out. That's fine. I don't personally care. It offends some people, but those are special edition copies of those books. And then the other one is Scott Lynch's Gentlemen Bastards series. The first 3 books in there, which are The Lives of Locke Lamora, Red Seas Under Red Skies, and The Republic of Thieves. There is a 4th book out, but I think we're still waiting on the 5th. He has not finished that series either, which is also fine to me, but also pisses off some people.
Next up, I purchased Kingdom of Flesh and Fire by Jennifer L. Armentrout.
Next up, Kingdom of Flesh and Fire by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I have read that. I have continued on with that series.
I also purchased a box set of Becky Chambers novels.
Next up is my box set of Becky Chambers books. This is A Long Way to the Small Angry Planet, A Closed and Common Orbit, A Record of a Spaceborne Few, and To Be Taught If Fortunate. I am like looking in this direction because they are behind you on that shelf and I'm trying to read the spines. So I have read all of those books, and beyond that for Becky Chambers. I highly recommend Becky Chambers as an author. She is just a warm hug of an author.
Next up, I purchased The Cage Queen by Kristen Cicerelli.
The Cage Queen by Kristen Cicerelli. I have read this. I've read this whole series. It was awful. I definitely don't recommend it.
Next, I picked up Girls with Razor Hearts by Suzanne Young.
Girls with Razor Hearts by Suzanne Young. I have read that, completed that series. It's also not very good.
The next 2 books on my list were favorites of 2020 that I had read as digital copies and I wanted physical copies of, and that is The Light Brigade by Cameron Hurley and The Only Plane in the Sky, An Oral History of 9/11 by Garrett Graff.
So the next 2 books, The Light Brigade and The Only Plane in the Sky, I have read both of those. I had read them by the time I recorded this video. I just wanted physical copies of books that I gave 5 stars.
And then the last of the books that I purposely bought for myself is Heartstopper Volume 3 by Alice Oseman.
Heartstopper Volume 3 by Alice Oseman. I have read this. I think I've only read, yeah, this is the last Heartstopper. I didn't read Volume 4. I like Heartstopper. I think it's cute, but I don't love Heartstopper. So I really only read them when they show up on the Goodreads Choice Awards.
This final stack is the book box books I got this month. The first one is The Ruthless Lady's Guide to Wizardry by C.M. Wagner. This came in my unplugged book box this month.
The Ruthless Lady's Guide to Wizardry by C.M. Wagner. That was very hard to say. I did read this. It was pretty bad. I think everybody who read it thought that it was pretty bad. I never saw any great reviews of this. But yeah, don't really recommend. The whole plot of the book changes like halfway through, and neither the starting plot or the finishing plot is any good.
Next up is The Widow of Rose House by Diana Biller. I got this in my Piece and Pages box.
The Widow of Rose House by Diana Biller, I believe is what that cover says. This is a... oh my gosh, how do I describe this? This is a mix of a historical romance and a haunted house horror book. I loved it. A lot of other people don't seem to like it, but I loved it. If you like ghosty stories, I think you might like this. It's ridiculous because of the romance aspect, but that just made it better for me.
The next book is from my Brilliant Books monthly subscription.
All right, The Seat by Chana Porter, I think is her last name. My thumb is covering it up in the picture, but this was like alien sci-fi. It was awful. I hated this book so much. It was weird, but not in a good way weird.
Next, from the Feminist Book Club, I read Difficult Women by Roxane Gay.
Difficult Women by Roxane Gray. I did read this as well. I love this. This is essays and stories by Roxane Gay about feminism and being a woman.
Next, from my Coffee and the Classics is The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald.
The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I didn't read that particular copy, but I definitely have read The Great Gatsby multiple times before.
Next up, from Introvert's Retreat, this is The Widows by Jess Montgomery.
The Widows by Jess Montgomery. I DNF'd this book. The writing was just not something I could handle.
Next, from Book of the Month, I actually have two from Book of the Month. First, this is my January pick for Book of the Month. It's called Outlawed by Anna North. Then The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett.
Book of the Month Club Books, Outlawed by, I don't know, something North. My finger's covering it up. And then The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. I read both of them. Outlawed was meh. It wasn't bad, it wasn't good. If you're interested, read it. It's short, not the worst. The Vanishing Half was very good.
World Seen in Passing, 10 Years of Tor.com Short Fiction, which is edited by Irene Gallo.
World Scenes in Passing, which is 10 Years of Tor.com Short Fiction. I did read this. It's just a short story collection of Tor.com books. It was decent.
And then the other one I got is called Children of Earth and Sky by Guy Gavriel K.
This is a book that I've unhauled. I'm pretty sure this was on one of my try a chapter videos, and I wasn't interested in it after trying a chapter and then unhauled it. But I don't have this book anymore, but I also didn't fully read it. So we'll consider it a DNF and an unhaul.
Broken in the Best Way by Jenny Lawson, and How the One-Armed Sister Sweeps Her House by Sherry Jones.
All right, and then my last two audiobooks were, the first one is Broken in the Best Possible Way by Jenny Lawson. I have read that one. And How the One-Armed Sister Sweeps Her House by Sherry Jones. I have not read that one. I'm still actually very interested in that. So hopefully I can get to it soon. Hopefully it comes up in my jar, or I just have some random reason to read it. That is everything, which kind of goes to show if I have it physically, I'm much more likely to read it. And audiobooks, I am so behind on still, because mostly what I haven't read was audiobooks and one physical book. So, obviously, I picked The Secret History, which I'm going to talk about here in a second, but I had the choice of multiple audiobooks and The Secret History. Alright, so let's jump into this one, The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I had picked this up because, it's famous. Everybody is talking about, this is the start of dark academia, but it is also very long, so I was never really motivated to read it, especially because the more dark academia I read, the more that I felt like dark academia is not really for me, and this kind of submits that. I didn't hate this. I read the whole book. I gave it 3 stars. I think the writing's very good in it. I just hated the characters. And I don't think you're supposed to like the characters, but I just wasn't interested in the characters. All of the characters are pretentious young adults who are either wealthy or pretending to be wealthy when they're poor. And they're all sociopathic assholes who murder one of their friends and do various other really creepy, inappropriate things. There's a lot of things in here that I just don't have any interest in reading about. There's a character who's gay, and people are horrible to him for his queerness. But like secretly gay. And I don't like that plot point. Like, just because you're a bigoted asshole doesn't mean you're secretly gay. It just means you're a bigoted asshole. Gay people aren't necessarily bigoted assholes. Like, you understand what I'm putting out here? Like, I see this a lot in like thriller books, like groups, like somebody in this group killed somebody, but we don't know who it is, where like everybody in the group is like horrible, and people seem to love those, but I never really like reading about a bunch of horrible people. I like reading about mean people and like bitchy women specifically, but not like objectively bad people. I hope you understand the nuance of the difference between those two things. This is all through one character's perspective. I don't remember his name. I don't care. But yeah, I didn't hate it. Like I said, the writing's good, but I just don't think I'm a dark academia girly. I just don't. That is that haul. Fortunately, I read most of the books in that haul. Just some audiobooks left over. I know, you're shocked. I really need to get through that backlog of audiobooks much faster than I am right now. But it's probably not gonna happen. Anyway, that's everything. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.